All right. So, guys, welcome to CrawlQ. Congratulations on signing up. If you have not got your access yet, please check our awesome deal to get a limited period exclusive lifetime deal offer through our partner AppSumo or through our affiliate network. I'm Harish here. I'm founder in CrawlQ, and today I'm going to be your virtual assistant to walk you through step by step on how to use this software. So, what we are going to cover. First thing, what to expect from CrawlQ, how to use this software and these tutorials. What is the story behind CrawlQ? So first thing first, what is the single big idea behind CrawlQ? And the single big idea is how to know your target audiences like your mom and pop without never talking in the language they fail to understand. I repeat, single big idea behind CrawlQ, how to know your target audiences like your mom and pop without never talking in the language they fail to understand. So, guys, if you are a product design engineer, product manager, CTO, SaaS CMO, sales and marketing technology leader, and you're struggling to use content to generate more revenue, now it is time to fix it. So, the next important thing is that you will be really shocked to learn that 96% of the product design engineers and technology leaders are not confident in using content to sell and feel frustrated with a disappointing return on investment in content marketing. They rely heavily on paid advertising and expensive copywriters. Most of the time, they forget to make deep connection to the problems, emotions, and search intent of their customers, regretting that they can't convert their leads into sales and get the full ROI on their content marketing budget. Are you in this situation? It shouldn't be like this. It's not your fault, guys, right? So let's go a bit more deeper. What is the biggest problem CrawlQ solves? So, guys, here is an interesting fact from Content Marketing Institute Survey 2021. Over 80% of the B2B product development teams have a content strategy. Interestingly, they also create a buyer persona, but only 11% of those teams consider their content marketing strategy and their buyer persona accurate. Sadly, out of this 11%, few teams effectively use their buyer persona in their content creation process and fall prey to SEO keywords tools. Guys, content marketing using AI is the hottest trend in marketing right now because it is one of the best ways to generate quick content and marketing ROI by building new and better relationships with your potential customers. But the question is, how do you create a strong content marketing program? And how do you measure its effectiveness? The answer is you need an extensive buyer persona creation AI tool and the ability to test the effectiveness of your buyer persona. The biggest problem is how to create an effective buyer persona, and the biggest challenge remains how to use it in your content creation process effectively. So, CrawlQ is dedicated to solving this problem for product design engineers, product managers, CTOs, SaaS CMOs, sales, and marketing technology leaders. Sounds like you? Yes. How did my own story here? How did the product owner's failure help to build CrawlQ? So, guys, for the last 8 years, I have been working on product development and have terribly missed the sales and marketing feedback loops into my product development. And being a product owner, I always wondered who are our real clients are, okay. So why this is so, this must change. So I decided to solve the problem on my own. First, I found that there is a huge lack of understanding of who is the right person to target before starting the content creation process. Any initial research, even if it is done, is more focused on the keywords, SEO based keywords. Again, there is a lack of efficient processes for creating effective target audience research. for managing and scaling content that sells and provide feedback to product development engineering. Thirdly, most content is only used for the top of the funnel awareness and not along the end-to-end customer journey. Guys, in addition, I also found that tech-oriented product design engineers, product managers are focused on solving specific problems, are really not focused here, are really not focused here on solving specific problems for specific people with a specific desire. Without this end goal, it is impossible to create any unique content. I repeat this. Most of the time, product design engineers, technology oriented background people are not focused on solving specific problems for specific people with a specific desire. Without this end goal, it is impossible to create any unique content, let alone an interesting product. Content creation and product development without this clarity are meaningless. So, converting leads into paying customer is a direct emotional marketing value that results from carefully curated sales-oriented content based on your target audience research and purchase journey. Finally, most entrepreneurs, marketers, and even content writers have not developed the necessary writing skills optimized for sales. As a result, the sales cycle is too long, the price is too low, and you are spending cash too quickly, relying on paid ads and expensive copywriters. And talking about options available in the market, most tools, even so called established AI content creation tools, are too focused on SEO related content, overly relying on keywords and search volumes. Some of these use Google data and AI spinners to spit out duplicate, non essential, non unique, non value adding content for page 1 of Google. Just imagine what differentiated sales and conversion goals you will achieve by just ranking on page 1 of Google if you can't pull the trigger of emotions, fears, suspicions, desires, roadblocks, and what keeps them awake at night, right? So, guys, what is the main proposition of CrawlQ for solving this problem? To address this challenge, we put together an in-depth AI-assisted market research and resonance framework and business idea validation tool that explains how to turn your content creation process into a predictable, data-driven, automated, organic growth machine while being extremely capital efficient. The focus here is on organic growth and extreme capital efficiency and extreme capital efficient use of target audience research and turn that effectively into content that generate more conversions, sales and ROI, or even pre-sell your business or validate your product market fit before you launch or before you invest heavily in your product or services. So next, what are the main benefits and outcomes of CrawlQ? So here is what is going to happen when you work with us. You will be able to make sales before you build, test, hypothesis, then pivot or persevere. You will be able to generate leads that match your buyer persona and differentiate you from competitors. You will create content that match search intent and map to your customer journey in the sales funnel. You can finally generate content relevant to your business niche, buyer persona, and conversion goals. So, guys, if you want to be a rock star, product design engineer, product managers, CTOs, SaaS CMOs, sales and marketing technology leaders, and authority in your domain, it is time to move the needle. So, guys, now you may be asking, tell us something more success stories and case studies. So, guys, we are working with 2000 plus early adopters and beta partners of our solution who are participating in CrawlQ's early stage AppSumo launch. We just had the new launch now, but we started first on the marketplace, and that was our first launch. And so far, we have received great, tremendous feedbacks as they have not seen such a robust and very detailed system connecting buyer persona approach to the content creation. So, notable case studies are, well, our own. We are using these methods and these tactics, everything that we are bringing to you right now, right here, we use this in our own business process. We also use this with our early adopters. So here are some of the early adopters. Cabex, an AI based mood detection and recommendation platform from Netherlands. They are using our testing framework and approach. Leancase, a German based investment planning tool. They're also testing their funnel and customer acquisition process through CrawlQ framework. Abodu, a talent heat map AI platform in Ireland, and eFile Cabinet, a most advanced document management system software, a US-based client, was also using our framework and services before we really launched on the AppSumo. So far, we have more than 300 plus agencies that have signed up with lifetime deal at recent AppSumo launch. More than 1200 plus freelancers and business owners with multiple backgrounds have signed up during our recent AppSumo launch. So, as I said, we have been working with some customers and getting very, very positive results. So, see what's the next, and what some of our customers are really saying. This is powerful, sophisticated AI writing tool. Okay, a game changer. Know your market. What I found interesting in this app is that it goes deep into identifying your market research and resonance. This app focuses on this aspect in order for you to create content according to your market. Okay. Um, Bernard here says it take him some time to wrap up his head around the power and potential of this tool. A big part of this was him. I need to upgrade some of my SEO and personal knowledge and skill set. Okay, I think this is well worth investing time to master this tool and workflow. I haven't seen anything else like this in the market today. Okay, again, Bhavesh, he has quite a good. We had quite a good discussion on Pastor formula of copywriting on this. Jennifer here, they just added AI to the niching part, and she said she added her top 2 or 3 answers and fill in the rest with AI. Sometime she removed and repopulated, but so far has been golden and helped her to speed her process. Okay, great, Jennifer. She said she haven't played with many other features yet she is loving it. Okay, good. So we very soon we are going to add more of these case studies, testimonial, and more details will follow. My goal here is not really to read this resource line by line. These are really awesome resources that we have created for you guys to get started, and these are available on the website under resources section. So next, how can CrawlQ help you to be capital efficient? So when you work with us, the most important thing is that you create a lab environment where you can run as many as target audience tests as possible, from the end-to-end business idea validation to semantics, psychographic profiling of your target audience. And not only this, you include your product's emotional hook into your copy, and you can generate blog posts, sales letter, emails, video scripts, webinar, and landing page funnel contents, right? Then let me go further with this. So how you are really going to be capital efficient with this? So what you will do, once you start with your buyer persona, you will test if your published content are resonating with your target audience. So you start micro content and you start publishing them. You collect some engagement metrics like clicks, leads, and then you check what is happening on the revenue. Then you will reiterate your buyer persona and update your content based on the feedback that you get from the market, from the data. And by doing this in a repetitive way, in a feedback loop, you ensure that no waste is created. The key is to understand that CrawlQ's AI assisted market research and resonance framework will help you to create a reliable test framework as quickly as possible. Okay, you create robust processes for validating your business idea. You will implement quickly a build, measure, learn feedback loop, and therefore you will be extremely capital efficient. You don't want to achieve you want sorry you want to achieve this, right? You want to achieve this in a way that your content automation and testing is done within few weeks, and you don't want to spend money where you don't have to. You don't want to hire people if you don't have to, and therefore this framework is extremely capital efficient. Okay, so guys, the next question that you might be asking is, how is CrawlQ different from other content marketing solutions out there in the market? So guys, we have tried everything. Before starting to work on CrawlQ, I tried everything out there in the market. Marketing and sales tools like HubSpot, SEMrush, Longtail Pro, Content King, BuzzSumo. Also, we have seen and tried a recent rise in SEO-driven AI content creation tools, right? And there are big names associated with this, with boss modes to more sophisticated SEO-focused content creators, right? The key problem that I faced, and still now I'm facing with these tools, is that they all assume you have a perfect product market fit. They all assume that your message is resonating. Secondly, most of these tools that I have tried before or still I'm trying, I recognize that most of these tools are too focused on technical SEO, keywords, topics, and mostly work as a wrapper around Google data, creating no unique content, and more like more or less they are creating content on high level like a Wikipedia type of content. So these are really good for bloggers who focus on broad niche like weight loss or dog training, or even you can go on a broader niche. But in order to create unique and domain specific target audience focused content, there's hardly any option in the market. Also, these tools are not designed for founders, marketers, and technology oriented SaaS CMOs, CTOs, product design engineers, and keeping the core team in mind, right? They do not monitor important KPIs, and they don't see through like sort of end to end customer journey. None of these tools I tried work on connecting all the dots between target audience research, products, sales, and marketing. So here, this was kind of a little attempt to landscape the existing market for content automation tool. And without going into too much detail, you can see that CrawlQ is uniquely positioned between this content market research tool, buyer persona research, and content creation tool. So we are uniquely positioned in a way which we provide in-depth research into your target audience and connect this with your content creation process. So next, we are going to cover what makes CrawlQ the best among others. So here with CrawlQ, we are obsessed with developing something which generate unique and useful insights, compelling stories, and engaging answers. 100% unique for any target audience aimed at. With CrawlQ, you will not only fill these gaps, but also build the pipeline funnel that generate qualified leads and transform your content into a machine that converts those leads into customer. And you're going to do all this in an iterative cycle as fast as humanly possible without any waste or little waste. Okay. So guys, again, you might be asking a question: how are the buyer persona, content creation, and sales funnel approaches related to the revenue metrics in CrawlQ? So great question. Yes, content creation using extensive buyer persona. That's what CrawlQ is, right? Right, and that and that's what as a core team you really hope and you really dream that you can do that, and that's what you desire. And guys, that's why you are here, else why you are here, right? As a product design engineer, product manager, CTO, SaaS CMO, sales and marketing technology leader, you need to identify that mass desire and channel that mass desire into your product, into a product copy, right? You need to really identify that mass desire and channel that mass desire into your product copy and attach your identity with the strong belief that your product copy can resonate and your product can fix those pain points. So guys, you cannot delegate this job, right? You can hire product owners, growth consultants, salespeople, but none of them can replace your job as a core team to get real customer feedback. Again, the whole point here is to build your unique buyer persona and turn this buyer persona into a powerful 100% unique content which brings net worth and cash flow. Now, I'm not going into this detail of metric, but what we are trying to achieve here, the main cost is that your time and engagement while working with CrawlQ, right? So you're really putting time and effort here. The alternative is juggling many tools and not setting the right foundation for the long-term ROI and value creation using content marketing and product development. So the idea here is you're really trying to get into the product development and content marketing discipline together with the idea of product validation, idea validation, and identifying that niche market and developing the content for that niche market. And that's where CrawlQ comes into the picture. So here we can discuss in more detail what ROI you can expect using CrawlQ. CrawlQ has its own AI engine, which is Athena. CrawlQ will work along with the Athena engine, and the more you use this software in its market research and content creation, the more you see that Athena works for you automatically in the background. So it's very hard to make some fixed ROI calculations or number, but just to set some expectation, right? If you are at zero revenue today and you have not yet figured out your market fit, or you don't have any offer yet, or you're very early, you can expect to get to $10,000 a month in 5 6, just $10,000 monthly recurring revenue in 5 6 months. Okay, that is 10x ROI, while you will be spending 3 times less time and money on different tools and creating waste due to loss of focus and lack of proper testing framework, or too much focus on SEO while using your focus to work with your most immediately reachable target audience. So in this tool, of course, if you are zero, you can expect $10,000 a month recurring revenue in 5 6 months. Okay, and that's really 10x ROI of your time and investment instead of focusing on the content which is fully SEO focused. So you need to first really get in front of those people who really, whom you know really well. You can take them, this one person, you can take him or her on a coffee date, and this is the person we are going to call niche in CrawlQ later. And you need to first really get in front of this person as fast as and take this person on a coffee date. And what you are going to talk on the coffee date is what is the whole idea of market research inside CrawlQ. Okay, so we'll touch on some of the caveats and limitations of CrawlQ. So, having said about all these ROI calculation, and there are still some caveats that we need to really, understand. There is, of course, AI going on here, right? But it's not kind of a magic wand. Everything is based here on tried and tested formulas, these tactics, and what we have built inside market research, copywriting, and AI content and inside the AI content writer. This is based on sort of a CrawlQ copywriting framework, which is driven from best references, text, and hands-on practical experience. And Athena, that is our internal AI, is really fine-tuned and pre-trained on this authoritative references, case studies on sales and marketing. So you will learn how to use AI tools and techniques using CrawlQ to enhance your copywriting skills, create content for sale, map buyer persona and search intent to the content and and the customer journey. Right. Second thing that you must remember that there is no excuses. So you are really responsible for the results that you achieve. If you're lazy and not taking actions seriously, you will get dismal results. That's a key. Even if it's AI or non AI, whatever tool you use, you have to take certain actions, right? The key is to stay focused and consider this as a kind of laboratory setup, right? And commit yourself to do rapid experiments. Nothing is failure and mistake here, okay? Everything you do here is a validated learning based on data and evidence. You do not get stuck from what feedback you received from AI or from this person whom you are going on a coffee date, or whatever it is, Athena. You don't get stuck from these feedbacks, even it is from your family, friends. But what you only care is feedback from the customers that you receive, from the first customer that you are going on a coffee date. This is important, and you are ready to open, um, to the feedbacks. And this customer is the person that you have immediate contact, and you're going to talk to this customer using this framework. And you strongly believe in the lean principle of product development, and you are committed to hacking growth and content ROI using rapid 100% unique targeted content development. So this is the key. So guys, again, what are the other important things that you must take into account while working with CrawlQ? So again, the most important thing to remember is nothing is failure here. It's just an iteration. You will be coming you are getting and you will get used to new insights about your market. You will investigate answers. You will come across stories. You will come across how to create headline messages. You will test your hypothesis or your funnels, sales letter, and other digital assets, and you are going to be sending maybe tons of cold emails. Maybe you will be coming up with all these different experiments, and a lot of them may not work initially, right? So you are going to sort of embrace that, and you have to really understand that this is normal. The key is speed at which you automate your content creation process in a laboratory setting. That is really key. Things might not work initially, but what is going to work and what is guaranteed to work is that your setup is perfect to do this kind of rapid experiments about your market research, about your target audience, about the feedback loop from sales and marketing to product development. So if you can really go through this iteration loop fast, then eventually it will start working. The visitors on your content will start converting, and we are here to set up this laboratory to do rapid experiments on your content creation. So faster you go through this iteration loop, the faster you're going to calibrate CrawlQ's Athena engine to your benefit and to build a profitable business unit case. The faster you are going to able to scale the content creation process. This is the key. So more rapid experiments, more ability to iterate through the feedback loop, and more train on CrawlQ AI to get the results that you want. So remember again, nothing is failure here, it's just an iteration. So here you are asking a question, how can CrawlQ help you step by step from scratch? So the first, you and your core team can create an account while you sign up, and you can work centrally with the entire team. And what you just this workflow is very important. So you get a start, you create your workspace, you answer some initial questions, just a very rough idea about whom you are targeting. So very rough idea at this stage about niche, sub niche, micro niche, vertical, and you come up with an ideal prospect story. And this need not to be really perfect. It has to just an steering start, a kickoff sort of thing, right? And once you do this, you have more tools to come back here and refine this approach in more detail. And we are going to cover this much more detail later. But what is important here is you can get a quick tool, and you can go to quick gains, and then you can play around with AI content writer, sales copywriter, and of course this text rewriter and summarizer are not really connected in the way as your content and sales copywriting, but you can take a quick tour here. But I want to remind you here that without in-depth buyer persona research, this is going to be as general as other content creation tools out there. So the unique content creation is not guaranteed in this approach when you start with just rough idea. But what you can, so the important thing here is quick gain is low quality output, but you can do a deep dive, and deep dive will ensure a high quality output based on your market research. So in the deep dive approach, what you are going to do, you are going to take some help from market spying wizard, and you will discover your target audience there, your keyword, your topic that you are working on, your product. You will deep dive into the subject itself. You will do more research using market spying wizard. Then you will also get some help from search intent discovery, where you will understand like how um, different people are asking in your business niche about the topic, about the product, the pain points and everything, right? Once you do this sort of initial research, you are ready to deep dive into the CrawlQ's deep dive market research framework. Here you are going into very detailed into niche, the current environments and trends impacting your niche, what promise you're going to make with your niche, what are the different activities and unique and useful insights that you present to your target audience. You will summarize this activity. It's very extensive exercise in this market research, and then you are ready to embark on a journey of short form content, long form content. So if you go to long form content and you're focused more on the sales copywriting, then you can jump to the sales copywriting wizard. Or when you are in the short form content, of course you can also go to text summarizer and text rewriter. But again, this text summarizer and rewriter is not as much connected with market research. It's just a helping tool for you. But the main the sort of fine-tuned approach comes with AI content writer. And here in this loop, actually not presented in this diagram, but you train Athena once you have done the initial research here. Once you have done through the market spying wizard and search intent discovery, you come back again here and you refine your initial idea. Once you refine your initial idea, and with some few more steps inside market research, you will train your virtual assistant, AI assistant, Athena, and it start working for you in this long form content process. Again, I want to remind, when I say long form, it's not really like a kind of GPT-3 long form content where you keep pressing the button and you start making long form. No, it is the whole idea in the CrawlQ is work on question answer generation system. So ask smart questions and get smart answers, index these smart question and answer, and stitch the content together in a way which really connects with your market research, which really connects with the sort of authoritative references and the documents that you supply in the training process to the Athena. Okay, so we are going to cover this much more in detail, but this was really high level overview, and we will go into much more detail later. So here you might be again asking, just take me to a quick tour. It's difficult, but let me try this. CrawlQ is obviously an advanced AI-driven, market research-driven content creation, right? So I think you get it quite clearly, these ideas so far. I'm sure you can run as many as target audience tests as possible. That is also clear. You are going to really deep dive into the demographics, psychographics, and that emotional part which captivate your target audience. So this whole framework of market research is very extensive actually. It start with niche itself is a big category, and it has a lot of questions and insights. Then we are so in this section, you're in the niche itself, you're going to spend a lot of time, and once you set that foundation and start training Athena, the other things start working for you, and it gets more easier and easier. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And once you dwell further into your sub niche, micro niche, your ideal prospect, you start into your semantics, psychographics. You understand sales objections, you understand desires, fears, roadblocks, suspicion, failure, mistakes, and even you attach your product's emotion hook and what keep them awake in the night. So you really go through this whole extensive process. And once you start training and powering up your Athena AI assistant, it all starts working for you. So market research, this is sort of deep dive. You define your niche, demographics, semantics, psychographics, your niche filters. We are going to cover this in a separate session. Then, of course, you don't need to do this whole exercise actually. When you are ready with some of basically the 4 or 5 categories which are here. So when you're ready with your niche, define your niche, this section. The second section is on the demographics, semantics, and psychographics. Once you are ready with basically this 3 4 sections, you are ready to hit the test, like how your initial research is reflecting your content creation process. You can directly go to AI content writer, or you can create some blog outline, you can create some headline intros, you can ask write me Athena, and you start testing if this is really working. So this is your first test, right? And of course you can save that document, come back again, expand that document again with new search terms. But this is all start making sense and connecting with each other. That's what I'm trying to explain in this section. That once you start with your define your niche, you initially when you create your workspace, you give it a rough idea, you take more help from other assistant functions, and once you come back here again, you start working on your refinements based on your initial idea, your refinement, and there are also AI generated insights which are going to help you to refine your ideas. So the market research process is very involved, exhaustive, and it comes with feedback loop from AI. And we are going to cover all this in quite detail later. So and the thing is, you can use also sales copywriter. There are various type of scripts here, video scripts, headline script. There are many 4 or 15 types of different sales letters are there. There are email sequences are there, webinar scripts are there, landing pages scripts are there. You can create a outline for teaching courses. So there are a lot of things here in this sales copywriting script section, and this really works well when you started, with some basic market research here. And the basic market research, which you really focus, is until this point the your niche, demographics, semantics, psychographics. Once you are here, then the magic really starts happening then. So, of course, this text rewriter and text summarizer, these are evolving function. They are not, I would say, perfect yet, but still you can try with some short micro content. Let's say workflow in this situation will be, you will take a URL or a content, you will repurpose this, or you will start with URL, you summarize this and repurpose this. So it's something that you need to figure out what is the best use case. But I would say this text rewriter and summarizer are not that evolved yet. But the most important part is they're also used inside AI content writer to help you with rewriting part. But I would not focus the USP of the tool on this text rewriter and summarizer. More focus, I think, by this time you must understand, is on market research and AI content creator and associated sales copywriting, right? So this video is really long. I'm really sorry about that, but I think I need to really cover that whole background to get you started with CrawlQ. So how you wanted to get help and support, you can of course always reach out to us at support@quantumixsolution.com. We are running 3 webinars each week. We are also available on live chat support. We are also having our own dedicated Slack channel We're also having a Facebook group where you can ask us questions. So there are a ton of resources to get help. In the end, what are the key skills that you will learn using CrawlQ? Of course, you are going to learn how to create your buyer persona. That is the most important key skill that you will learn while working with CrawlQ, fully assisted by AI, right? How to know your target audience, right? That's the most important thing. You will also learn other many copywriting frameworks and principles, and that's going to be subject of my next video, where before really deep diving into the market research, I wanted to touch on a robust, solid framework. I wanted to really assure you guys that the CrawlQ framework, or the market research and the content creation framework, is really based on a solid copywriting framework that is exclusively sort of derived from most authoritative text and references. So you are going to learn how to sell and get engagement with written words. Okay, you are going to learn how to use AI to write and convey your message. That is most important. The market research and resonance section is the foundation of CrawlQ, and it really helps us to train and teach our internal AI, Athena, to provide you the best value. So we are going to really get into the content automation part. You will create different blog posts, sales letter, landing pages, webinar videos, email content, nurture sequences based on the same copywriting formulas as used by popular copywriting and copywriters. This is same formula that are sort of used by $1 billion copywriters, and this is going to be the next sort of focus of our video, where I am going to really touch on the foundation of CrawlQ copywriting framework. So in the end, if you have not yet get started with this, or you're watching this video in the end, at this stage, CrawlQ is an unbelievable bargain. 100% risk-free guarantee. You get refund if things doesn't work out for you, or if you find this thing is not for you. I would say, don't worry about it. Try, see if you can get sort of results with it. And this is, I can say, really great opportunity to learn a different way how to create content purely focused on your target audience. Okay, so here I'm going to end this video. This is already quite long. I tried to make it in some small gaps, but I hope you have a good idea on on the CrawlQ itself, its introduction, the foundation. And in the next video, I'm going to cover another deep dive into CrawlQ copywriting framework. So guys, stay tuned, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.